I'm not even a coffee drinker, but I definitely need the coffee today because, my goodness, I basically got like 2 hours of sleep last night, but you don't want to hear about that. We are here to do some more editing. I didn't know if I was gonna have time to do this today, but a meeting of mine that I thought was today is actually tomorrow. So we have some time here to get into editing. And this is definitely a little crooked, so let's fix this. Awesome. There we go. I'm learning as I show you some of the things that I do in particular, and I'm excited to share these things that I've learned with you. We're gonna jump straight into it. In the last video, we talked about how to set up the edit so you can edit with purpose in some way, shape, or form. And I talked about essentially having 2 timelines that you're working off of, one for all of your footage, the other for your rough cut in particular. Also talked about figuring out how long you want your video to be, find your music, import your music, and cut it to size so it can fit the length that you want the video to be, because the music is the foundation for your edit, so you want to make sure that you have that down. All of that was done, and now we're gonna get to sifting through the footage and figuring out what is the good footage and what is just fluff and needs to be cut. Let's jump into the edit. So I just finished going through all the footage and I made cuts. I highlighted things that I definitely want in the video. Those were in green, and the ones that for sure are making it is in red, or rose color, and it's not green, it's forest, whatever it's called. Either way, I highlighted those so I can have mental cues of, hey, yeah, I really like this. And I even put a little note to say that, hey, this would be a really great transition to use. So I make little notes like that as I'm scrubbing through the footage, so I know when I get back to the edit, I now have a place to start from. And it's really important to leave breadcrumbs as you're editing, especially if you're editing over a number of days. It's nice to have those little breadcrumbs, because sometimes I'm working on a few different projects, whether it's personally or a client. So it's really nice to have those little notes that you put in so you know exactly where you are and what you need to be doing in order to accomplish this edit. So that's how I sift through, my work. So right now we're just gonna jump back into it really quickly, and we're gonna talk about what the edit itself looks like. Okay, so we have all the footage. It's been edited. I have notes. I've color coordinated, and yeah, I like the way that it's shaping up in my head in particular. And now I want to start thinking, what are some of the major themes that I want to essentially bring out of this edit? I know very first thing off the bat, because this is a networking chapter, they do things to let people know who they're looking for. So they'll say things like, what's the word? Who do you know that needs this? Or this week I'm looking for. So those are some cues that I'm probably gonna tap into a little bit, because I can get one person to say, what I'm looking for, and then have a few of the entrepreneurs go ahead and say what they're looking for to streamline this video and to keep it fast paced. That's at least what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm not entirely sure if it's gonna work out the way that I want it to work, but we are definitely going to try. So I made a little bit of a mistake here. I call them BNI Park Power Connections. They're definitely fortune builders, and it's right there, BNI Fortune Builders. So that is a fail on my part. See, I need to go ahead and change that for my own sanity. Okay, BNI Fortune Builders. We have the timeline here with the music, and now I am trying to figure out where I can find some of the verbal cues for me to essentially make cuts and bring them down to the timeline and merge those. I'm trying to get one person say, this week I'm looking for, and then essentially I'm going to work it from there. So I'm just going to scrub through and see where I can find somebody say that. Okay, so I think these guys at the front, no, they didn't say it. Okay, I need to turn that down a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I'm not finding it just yet. I'm looking for somebody that's standing up. So this is all the preliminary stuff. So I guess what I'm looking for is over here.
This week my ask is for introductions to any warehouse managers.
So that's a pretty good one. She says, this week my ask is for any, and then I would switch to somebody else. I would say something, switch back to her, then to another person. That's how I'm thinking how the edit is going to be, because the big thing with chapters in particular is that they are telling you who they're looking to get business from. So at least how I'm mapping it out in my head, and usually I'll have a piece of paper where I'm writing things down. But this time, since I'm talking to you, you're actually helping me through the edit. So the way I'm gonna start it is I'm gonna start it with, this week I'm asking for a few of the entrepreneurs, fire off who they're looking for, and then jump into the interviews, and then throw some B-roll on top of that of them having fun together, them laughing, interacting with one another, and I think we'll have a video. It's kind of hard for me to do that and talk to you at the same time, and it might be a little bit boring for you, but that's what essentially I'm going to do with this edit. I'm gonna go from the individuals asking who they'd like to be in connection with, and then I'm gonna go to interviews, and then I'm going to add some B-roll while the interviews are going to kind of bring home the point that BNI, it's been mentioned twice now, this particular chapter, they feel like they are a family, and that's been mentioned by 2 different people and even a visitor. And here's the thing, I'm probably going to use the visitor's testimonial as well, where he says it looks like you guys are just genuinely friends. Once again, family language, community, all of that. So I think that's how I'm going to work this edit. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not actually gonna go through the edit. I'll probably do this myself, and then after, in the next video, we'll talk about color grading and how I'm going to color grade this, because to be honest, I kind of did a bad job of nailing this in camera, especially when we were in the room in particular. So yes, we'll do color grading, and also we'll do some audio as well. How do I clean up my audio, because it definitely needs some work. So those two are coming up. I might do the audio first and then after the color grading, because I usually like to color grade last, and then yeah, we'll move from there. Anyway, that's all for me today. If this is something that blessed your spirit, go ahead and like this. If this is something you want to keep up with, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, blow it up people's elbow and all that great stuff. And if you want to get an alert of the next one, go ahead and frog in my throat. Go ahead and hit that bell, please do. Until the next one, go ahead and do something creative today. Peace.